Hey guys, it is afternoon. It's about 1:45 in the afternoon on Monday. So I just wanted to share this with you. Trying to incorporate a few other things so you're not just staring at me the whole time. As you can see, I haven't brushed my hair, haven't showered yet today. No biggie. I still work from home on Mondays and Thursdays because those are the nights I volunteer. Um, so what I wanted to talk about, yesterday was a really weird day for me. Got up early, got everything done that I wanted to. It was my mom's 60th birthday party, so went over to her house, got it decorated, stopped at the grocery store, got a few things that I would need, and then came home, got everything done, left on time, got there on time, had a great time with my family. It was nice. That was the first time we'd seen each other and all been together since March 15th. So it was really wonderful to be able to see everybody. And I had even talked to the person that I miss talking to more than anything. Even talked to him a little bit in the morning. You know, it was a good day. And then I got home. Still a good day. Played with the dog, took her out. Poor thing, she'd been in the cage all day. Wanted to make sure she got out to play a little bit. And then I sent an email. I had already planned on sending the email. It was kind of a Dear Diary thing that I was doing for this person just because going through some stuff, not talking a whole lot right now. So I was trying something new of just kind of writing my thoughts down every day. And so instead of texting or messaging every day, just send it once a week. Now, I know what I wanted to receive in return. That is not what I received. Regardless of what I kept telling myself, I had expectations. And those expectations were not met. And that made me real upset. I had poured a glass of wine just to sit down and relax, not trying to drown anything away. But in the interim of sending the email and the minimal response that I received, I then proceeded to finish the entire bottle of wine. Not a good move, not a smart decision. I mean, I was home. It's not like I was going anywhere, so I wasn't out being stupid, but still, not a good call. Not a good move, not a good choice on my part. And it just got me thinking about, talking the other day, feeding the pain, nurturing the pain. Expectations, I think, are some of the biggest causes of that. We set these expectations in our mind that are just unrealistic. I wanted him to respond in a certain way, and he didn't. It's not to say his response was bad or wasn't what he was thinking or feeling at the time, but it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I was hoping the response would be. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I do to myself is even when I tell myself, you might not get a response, might not be the response you want, even when I try and mentally prepare myself, I set myself up to fail so many times. Or I set myself up for unrealistic expectations. And that is just something I have to really work on because it's a challenge to be realistic. Just because I want someone to do something doesn't mean they're going to do it. Doesn't mean they're capable of doing it. Someone told me years ago, and it really just struck a chord with me. It's hard to be upset with someone for not doing more than they are capable of. And that really kind of hit me. In a lot of previous relationships, I've been, oh, why didn't he do this? Oh, why didn't he do that? Well, if he really loved me, he would have done this. And, You know, it kind of goes into love languages. Everybody shows their loves and expresses their love in different ways. And it's unrealistic to expect someone to do more than they're capable of doing. Maybe they weren't brought up to show love in that manner or to speak it, or, you know, whatever the situation may be. Some people just were not brought up to be overly affectionate or to say, I love you all the time, or to really sit down and talk about feelings. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you feeling about us? What are you feeling about life in general? You know, those types of questions. Some people have just never had those conversations, so they don't know how to have those conversations. And it's not fair to be upset with someone when I've got all these expectations in my head. They don't know what those expectations are. They don't know what I'm hoping for, wanting for, asking for, if I don't tell them. So then it's unfair to get upset because those expectations aren't met. But that's exactly what I did last night. And I let myself get bogged down, and I mean, it was just, I let a really bad moment almost ruin a really good day. And I will be perfectly bluntly honest. I was crying, and I am talking ugly crying, sobbing, snotting, just a mess. And I literally just knelt down on the floor, folded my hands over the bed, and just begged God and told God that I don't want to live a life of fear. Fear of what other people feel towards me, how they think towards me, fear of losing people that I love, the anxiety surrounding that. I don't want to live a life filled with fear and anxiety. All anxiety is worrying about the future. Depression is worrying about the past, shit you can't change. Anxiety is worrying about the future. One is in the past, one is in the future. You need to be in the present. And I get it, and most days I'm good with it. Last night was not one of those days. I literally just kneeled down, and ugly tears streaming down my face, begged God, I don't want to live a life of fear. I don't want to live a life of anxiety. I don't want to let someone else's emotions, actions, reactions run my life. I can't control how he's going to respond. I can't control how anyone is going to respond to me. I can be bluntly honest. I can pour my heart out. I can tell you everything I am feeling deep within my soul. I can't control how you're going to respond to that. I can't control somebody else's reaction, but I can control mine. And that is really hard. Really, really hard. And despite what I told myself, that he might respond, he might not respond the way you want, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling myself this in my head, and still, I didn't get the response I want, and I was upset. So, after drinking a whole bottle of wine, do not recommend, don't do it, it was stupid. It was about 9:30. Lacey and I just went to bed. It was bedtime. I literally passed out. But I woke up this morning feeling calm. I purposely turned off my phone last night so that if any other response did come through, I wouldn't hear it. And so that I purposely would not be obsessively, compulsively checking my phone, hoping for a response, seeing if it's still online, seeing, checking. Oh, you were on 5 minutes ago. You couldn't bother to talk to me. Those are the thoughts in my head. So I purposely turned off my phone so that I could not get any response or obsessively, compulsively check for responses. Because, we all do it. It's habit. You wake up in the middle of the night to pee, you take your phone with you, So I just purposely turned it off so that couldn't happen. And I woke up this morning feeling calmer, feeling more peace in my head. I don't remember what I dreamed about. I don't always remember my dreams. Sometimes something that during the day will trigger a memory and be like, oh, yeah, okay, I dreamed about that. Or, it was just weird. But sometimes it'll trigger like that, but I don't remember what I dreamed about last night. But I just felt calm this morning, more relaxed, not upset, not as emotional as I was last night. And the first thing I did was tell God thank you for calming me down, for helping me relax and not be so worked up over stuff I can't control. And so when I finally did look at my phone this morning, he had responded. And it still wasn't the response I wanted. But it didn't upset me like it did last night. It didn't bring me to tears, ugly crying, like it did last night. And I know that that is through God's help. So I am a religious / spiritual person, I would say. I was baptized Lutheran years ago. I haven't been inside a Lutheran church in probably 2 or 3 years. I'm not telling you to go be some religion. I'm telling you to believe in whatever entity you believe in. When I pray to God. I ask all of my guardian angels, all of my spirit guides, all of my family, friends, and loved ones that are up there. I ask them all for help. I'm calling on everybody. I need all the help I can get. So when I pray and when I say my thank yous at the end of the night, I include everybody. God, guardian angels, spirit guides, grandparents, cousins, family, loved ones. I'm calling on everybody. But what I am showing you behind me, I kind of stumbled on this morning. I wasn't really searching him out specifically, but I just kind of found it this morning. So I'm going to play a quick, I think it's about 1.5 minutes. It's not super long, but it really just kind of struck me. And I don't know all the rules of YouTube. I found it on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube. I hope it's not against the rules to then play it on YouTube. I don't know. So maybe if there's a big blank 1.5 minute section of this video, you'll know that apparently I broke some rule that I don't know about. So forgive me while I awkwardly turn around to use the mouse. So this is the Reverend T.G. Jakes.
We must put off concerning the former conversation. The King James Version says conversation, or could be better translated lifestyle. The challenge is to get rid of all of the lifestyles of the old man. That's the real challenge. That's the real struggle. The old man had a certain style, a certain mentality, a certain mindset. And even though you've given your life to Christ, the struggle is to remove away from you the old man's lifestyle. The way he did things, the way he felt about things, his values, all a part of that lifestyle, which the Bible says, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust. It is corrupted according to the deceitfulness of lust. It has been deceived by images and ideas from the past have corrupted the old man, and you can't convert him. You've got to put him off. You've got to put him off altogether. And then he says, and that you put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. So we've got to put off the old man, and we've got to put on the new man. So look at your neighbor and say, you need to be able to put on. You know, some people say, well, I can't put on, but you have to put on the new man until you become one with who you are now. And that takes a while because you spent years being who you were. And now you've got to put on the new man until you become comfortable with who you are. Put on the new man. And you do that by being renewed in the spirit of your mind. is all of this stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you today has to happen in your head. Right in between your two ears, you are renewed in the spirit of your mind. Somebody say, my mind.
So that, is just kind of everything I have been about the last several years. Everything starts and ends in your head. You can change your entire life if you believe you can. If you believe that nothing's ever going to change, you're stuck, you're screwed, you're destined to be a loser, lonely, jobless, partnerless, whatever. If that's what you believe, then that's what's going to happen. But if you believe in your mind that things can and will be different, it can happen. It's not going to be easy. Like he said, it's going to take a while. And it's some part of that old saying, fake it until you make it. It's not really fake it. To me, it's face it until you make it. A friend of mine shared that. Face it until you make it. Keep going. Keep trying. You're going to have some days where you succeed and it's great. And you're going to have some days where you do not succeed and it really sucks. And it feels like you're falling back into old habits, falling back into old patterns. And that's what I felt like for a little bit last night. Why do I always do this to myself? Why do I blah, blah, blah? Just pity party for Angie for a little while. But that's when I declared, begged, spoke out loud, yelled to God. The dog was giving me all kinds of crazy looks. She thinks I'm crazy anyway. I don't want to live this life of fear, of anxiety, of constantly wondering, am I good enough? Am I the right person? I don't want to live that way. I know I'm good enough. I know I am enough. I know I am worthy of love. That's on you if you can't see that. And so even when we have our down moments and do stupid things like I did last night, once you start getting it changed in your head, you might still have those moments, but they don't last nearly as long as they used to. A couple bad hours last night, I'm not going to let that ruin my whole day. I had a great day. And I begged for help. I begged for help to change and not be that person that I don't want to be anymore. And I woke up this morning feeling better, feeling calmer. I can't control everything. And that is so hard for me because I am a total control freak. I can't control it. I can't control how this person lives their life. I can't control the choices they make. I can't get them to love themselves, let alone be certain that they love me. I can't control any of that. All I can control is how I can respond. And I was a miserable, sad, depressed, lonely person for years. I was that type of person that nobody wanted to be around because to make myself feel better, I always had to be right. Always had to make sure that you knew I was right. Yeah, I was that person, and it's annoying as hell. And I see it now. And I sincerely apologize to everyone that I did that to. But I was lonely. I was miserable. I was depressed. I didn't realize it at the time, but depressed, anxiety. I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm going to have some bad days, but you know what? It was a bad couple hours, not a bad couple of years. So just because you start changing things in your head, don't think that you're failing because things happen. Look at how you recover from them. Look at how you identify what the problem is. Years ago, I never would have known the problem. I didn't know the problem. I didn't do anything to work on it. I know the problems now. I know what to do to work on them. So don't ever think you're not making progress, because sometimes the progress is so slow that in the middle of it, you don't think you're doing anything. And then you look back and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't as hard as that used to be. Well, I wouldn't have responded like that a year ago. I really am making progress, So that is my message today. is all progress is progress. And don't let yourself be defined by your past. Take off that old man and put on the new man. You might not understand the new man at first, but you will. So, thank you.